Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gritty Hour. I have a very special guest today, Caitlin Hourican. She's a bartender here locally in Millbrook, New York, at the Millbrook Inn, and she is not only a great bartender, but she has the coolest name I ever heard. So, welcome to the Gritty Hour, Caitlin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
we're certainly glad to have you. I appreciate you coming on. So, you've been a bartender for a lot of years already, no? When?
Yes. So I started bartending for my parents when I was younger. Like I would
Uh,
make them little drinks at home and everything. So since I was 10, I said that I wanted to be a mixologist. And then I went on to golf courses and I would bartend at some of those. And then I moved up here to be at Silo Ridge and bartended there for a little while.
When you say the golf courses, where were they?
One was in the one was in Garrison. It was called the Garrison and then
Okay,
it shut down.
okay, because you're from the Bronx, right?
Yes, yes. So
Yes,
I was born and grew up in the Bronx, and then I moved up to Westchester a
right. So
little
that's
while.
those who have been watching and listening to us for a while know that I have a soft spot for people from the Bronx. So, so you born where in the Bronx were you from?
I'm pretty sure. I think it was in Fordham.
Oh,
I think what
Fordham.
we grew up in. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then you edged up closer to Millbrook as you got older.
Yes, pretty
Yeah,
much.
very nice. So you go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt your.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine.
So you did some courses in Garrison. There's some good
Yes.
courses over there.
Yes. I
Yeah.
worked at the one course called the Garrison, and it was a beautiful course. And then they decided to shut it down about after I worked there for about 2 years, and they donated it
hmm
to the Shakespeare community.
Uh, for those not familiar with our area, the New York area, Garrison is just south of Cold Spring, New York, which is right across the Hudson River from West Point, and it's also along Benedict Arnold's escape route
Yeah.
when he betrayed our country. So now it's a hoity-toity golf course. So you Silo Ridge, which is closer to Millbrook, is in Amenia, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is just southeast of us, I believe.
Yes.
And how did you get that gig?
So basically, I was working at this other virtual golf place called Golf on Six in Mayapack. And one day, this person came in and they're like, "Oh, Anne Hathaway golfs there." And I'm like, "Oh, I love Anne Hathaway." So I applied to work there just to see if I would like get the job. And then I ended up going in for the interview and then I got it. And then I was bartending in the comfort stations when I got there, which is like
Sweet.
the little like stop off on like the golf course.
What's a virtual golf course?
So it's like the giant like simulators kind of, and then when you just like have to hit the ball, and then the ball like goes into like the screen basically.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, the drinks were real though, right?
the drinks were definitely real. They have a whole like beer wall there that you get
hmm
to activate with like a beer bracelet, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
So how long did you work at Silo Ridge?
Silo Ridge, I only worked there for the summer last summer, so it was about 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to school or no?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
going. Well, I'm currently studying distillation, and then I'm also going to school for business management.
Nice. That's a good combo.
Mhm.
You're gonna have your own tavern one day or
Oh,
restaurant? No.
no, no.
No.
I'm fascinated just by distillation,
Uh
and I
huh.
think it's like way I'm way too clumsy of a person to distill any of my own stuff.
Isn't there a place 10 what is it called? 10
Oh, 10 Mile Distillery, yeah.
10 Mile
That-
Distillery.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
actually got me into distillation. Their master distiller over there was the one
hmm
who like introduced me into distilling and everything.
Okay. And where's that?
It's over I always pronounce the name of the town wrong. It's Wazayak?
Uh okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful place and I bartended there for a little while.
Oh,
Um,
Wasaic.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasaic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I always pronounce it wrong. But yes, I bartended there for a little while, and I was their tour guide as well. So that's what got me into like learning about distillation and everything.
They have the whole process from
Yes,
soup to
from
nuts over there in the.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
They get their barley from Tivoli, so everything's located within a 30-mile radius for them. And
Hmm.
then it gets malted, and then they go there, and it gets like into the mash tun, into the it gets like into like everything basically. Goes into mash tun, the washbacks, then the pot stills, double distilled, all that.
Uh-huh. And what do they specialize in?
Well, they do gin, vodka, and they just released their whiskey recently.
I see. Are they are they sold locally around here, or
Yeah, yeah, they're all sold within New York.
what's the label?
It is it's this like bottle, like it is actually engraved with their logo on the bottom, and
No,
it's
but
called
what's
Little Rest.
it's called what?
Little Rest.
Little Rest. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
named after a street near in Millbrook
Oh yeah.
because back
Oh,
in
there's a Little Rest Road here in Millbrook. Yeah.
so basically like back during like westward expansion, that road, people would attach an extra horse to your buggy, and then it'll pull you up the hill, and then at the top of the hill there was a bar that you can go and get a little rest at.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah,
Okay. On your way to California?
yeah, exactly.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So after that, you got
So
even more local.
yes. So after that, I went to the Millbrook Inn
Uh-huh.
and I became their mixologist there. And now I create the bar program currently. And it's just a lovely place to work. It's very nice. It's the most freedom I've had with creating cocktails. And we just released our new fall menu as well.
Yeah, I visited you about 2 weeks ago,
Yes.
um, at the Millbrook Inn. It's a very, if you don't mind me saying, a very posh place.
It's definitely elevated dining is our main thing that we try
Hmm.
and strive for. But we always try and be like welcoming no matter what.
Yeah, but you get a higher level clientele there as
Yeah.
guests.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you basically, I'm assuming you're. By the way, the your bar is right behind me in the backdrop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I took a crane pull up the wall and put your bar there.
It looks great.
A lot of people who know me a long time know I'm very comfortable in front of a bar. So, but I would think you have to sort of entertain these folks that are staying. What they usual
Oh
stay
yeah.
2 3 days. They come on a
Yeah.
weekend, or
Generally.
and you have to tell them about the area.
Exactly, yeah. Like I
Yeah.
tell them about like all the local things to go to, like Innisfree, I recommend, the distilleries I recommend, the different wineries I tell them they should go to. Or like even just like walking around because like it's just such a beautiful area and the fountains is like right above us. So they're
It
able
is a
to just walk
beautiful
up there.
landscape. Yeah. Any antique stores you might recommend over there?
Oh, of course, the Millbrook Antique Store.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Um, so I guess my question really is: you worked in Garrison, you worked in Silo Ridge, in Amenia, and now in Millbrook. Is there a difference in the type of clientele? Number one, and number two, are what they order different?
There's definitely a difference going from golf courses to going to where I work now. It was mostly just like transfusions like Bloody Marys or or Palomas. And then going to where I go now, it's either people order just from the specialty cocktails or they want like a Boulevarde, they want like a Gold Rush, they want like those types of drinks. Like it's not really like the type of place where you go and you're like a green tea shot.
Hmm.
So it is a bit different from the other places that I've worked in.
Yeah. So there's is what you said before. You set the menu on the drinks, like you
Yes.
stock, you order the beverages. In other
Yes.
words, you set the
Yes. Like I create the cocktails. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting. Do you have any originals?
Yeah, no, the first one to go on is the one that's still on there. It's called the Smoked Bee, and it's with Hill Rock whiskey, and then cherry bitters and honey syrup, and then I smoke it with the cherry wood, and it's served over a rock. So it's kind of like an old fashioned. And that was the first one that I actually created to go onto the menu when I first got hired.
Hmm. So you
And
must be. I was going to say you must be disappointed when a guy like me shows up and orders a beer.
no, no, of course. We also get our beers from local breweries, so
Yeah,
anything I'm really happy with there.
yeah. You can petition the owner there. I don't know if I know the owner. You could petition them to get Guinness on draft, or just Guinness at all. It would be sweet. Yeah,
It just would be fun to have.
yeah. Well, you'll see a hell of a lot more of me over there. Yeah. So, you're studying now. Where do you study? Where do you go for that? Where do you
Or
study?
so basically for a distillation, I got Shane Fraser, which is the master distiller. He gave me like this giant, like it's this like giant book thing. And basically once you read through all of it, you can like take a test on it and then you're able to get like certified in it.
I see. Is it online or you have to go
Yeah.
somewhere? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should have asked in the beginning. Is bartending something that requires a license?
No, no, bartending actually doesn't. Generally, they want you to have a tip certification, which is just like being able to like tell IDs, being able to like tell when you should stop serving someone. Like it's just like the serve safe protocol that all
Hmm.
bartenders should have. So they do, most places do require that you have that.
Okay. But there's no state involved, no regulation
No,
statewide.
no.
I see. Okay, I
Yeah,
never knew that. Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's why I
So,
always tell people it's like a fun like hobby thing to like get into if you're like looking for like extra money or something like that.
hmm,
Bartending is always like fun to get into.
do you feel you'll be doing that for a long time, or?
I hope I am. It's been my dream since I was like 10 to be a
Hmm.
mixologist, so I really do enjoy it.
Yeah. Is there any kind of clubs or anything among people who have that love of mixology?
Yeah, there are like bartender like conventions that you can go to and you could
Hmm.
like meet a bunch of people that are like into the craft.
Hmm.
Or like on Reddit, I'm a part of like forums for like bartenders,
Oh, sweet.
which is
Do
like
you
a lot of
get
fun.
do you get tips and give tips?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then you just like hear
it's
different like
something it's
yeah.
something you have to hone, right, to be a good bartender.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. But I feel like good is different in everyone's definition of it. Like there's like there could be like a good Irish bar type person and there's like a good specialty cocktail person.
Hmm.
So it's like different definitions for each, I think.
Right. Because are you coming into your busy season at the Millbrook Inn?
Yes, currently in the leaf changing season, this is our busiest.
Hmm.
This and summer are our busiest.
And what about the holidays coming up?
The holidays, we're going to have like some special events, so that will probably be pretty busy for us as well.
Hmm.
So that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, because you have to serve not only the people sitting at the bar, but the people that are eating at
Yes,
the
in the restaurant.
tables. Yeah.
Mhm.
So is there a lot of wine?
There is definitely a lot of wine.
Does the Millbrook Inn deal at all with the Millbrook Winery?
We don't currently have anything from Millbrook Winery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Hey, do you like the Millbrook Winery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't been yet, but my roommate's been and she really likes it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll have to get over there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a beautiful view up there.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
definitely will. I need to
yeah.
check it out. I heard they
Uh,
have like food trucks and everything too.
They do on. I don't know about the fall. Well, I think this time of year they still do.
Okay.
They don't have it in the winter or the spring. I don't think, but in the summer and fall they have food trucks on. I think Fridays and Saturdays, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with like being a bartender and everything is always like your schedule doesn't line up with like being able to go to like other things. So
Yeah,
it's
normal
always so
people's
tough.
schedules. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Like my parents will be like working Monday through Fridays, and then I'll be calling them on Mondays and Tuesdays at like early at like late times, but I don't realize that they're going to sleep at those times because they work the next day when those are my days off.
Right.
Yeah.
That's because I work on weekends too, as you know.
Yeah.
And when people say have a good weekend, it's like, yeah, screw you.
Exactly.
so, so your long-term goal is not to own anything, huh? You just want to.
Yeah, I just like what I'm doing right now and I feel like it's something that's a good fit for me. I'm always been like a big like people person, so I feel like
Hmm.
I really like it.
Yeah, schmoozing is half the battle in being a bartender, right?
Very true. And
Yeah.
surprisingly enough, I'm very awkward when I'm not working behind a bar. Like it's kind of like my version of immersion therapy by like talking to people and everything.
You put on a different persona when you get behind the bar.
Like, I think I'm just like, I have to be open in order to like ask someone for their drink. So I just realized it's something that I need to do instead of like standing in a corner looking really awkward.
Well, I did notice when I was there, you have obviously you have people that stay there that come in
Yes. Yeah.
I guess sometimes for a week, mostly for
Yep.
weekends, right? 2 3 day stints.
Yeah.
But you also
Generally.
have regulars,
Yeah,
which
of
is a
course.
good
Yeah.
attestment to you.
Yeah, no, you came
Uh,
on Monday, so that's when a lot of my regulars end up coming.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was between two couples. One was
Yep.
from Massachusetts, and one was from
From
Millbrook. They
yeah.
come every
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So your days off are Tuesdays and Wednesdays,
Yep.
and you afforded one of your days off for us. We appreciate it.
Of course.
So that's good. So the Millbrook Inn is a second iteration of the Millbrook Inn.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to share a picture of the Millbrook Inn if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Um, I don't know what the hell I did with it now. I had it. I just showed you right before we started. Oh, here, I had it up there. Look at that. Okay, I'll be all right. As you can see, I'm technologically savvy.
Honestly, you really are.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, there you go. Okay. So that's the Millbrook Inn um,
Yes.
web page. Millbrook Inn, Hudson Valley activities. Okay, some on the a lot of things to do around here, which is we're blessed here in
Yeah.
Millbrook with a whole bunch of stuff. Now I've lost the main page. I don't want to book a room. Cost a fortune. No offense. So that's the address, right? 3 Gifford Road, Millbrook, New
Yes.
York, right by the fountains.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. You get people from the fountains roaming in there?
We actually do.
Yeah.
And they are a hoot there, honestly.
Yeah.
I had no idea they had a bar. They have a bar in the fountains. Like they have like a room where they
Oh,
can
I
like
didn't I didn't know that.
like liquor in and everything.
Oh
Yeah. This
yeah.
guy came in and he was a hoot.
Yeah. Well, the
Very fun.
fountains for those aren't from around here. It's an assisted living place, but it's a high end assisted living place, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
It's very
Um,
nice.
it's
But they
very
don't have bingo.
huh? How do I get to the main page of this place? Yeah.
Um
There you go.
oh yeah, there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very nice.
So do you find it's always booked? Is it hard to get a room in that place?
It recently, yes, it has been booked every single weekend, pretty much.
How many rooms do they have? Do you know?
They have 9,
Oh,
and each
okay.
one has a different theme to it.
Each one is what?
Has a different theme to it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Have you ever been over to Wings Castle?
No, but I heard people that came in for dinner were staying there.
Yeah, it's similar. Each
Yeah,
room has a
but it's
different.
like an actual like castle.
Yeah, it was hand built by Peter Wing and his wife Tony,
Really?
and he passed away. But Tony still runs it with his her son Charlie.
Aw.
And I highly recommend you take a trip over there. Just it's right actually at the top of the hill from the Millbrook Winery. So if you're at the Millbrook, if you're at Wings Castle, you can look down on the winery.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
I've gotten into the history of Millbrook. There's a lot of great history around here, you know.
Yeah. Oh
Is
yeah,
that,
there really is.
as you know, I'm from the Bronx too, so I've only been up here, I don't know, 13 years or so. But I sort of fallen in love with the history of Millbrook.
Yeah.
And
Same.
at one time, the Millbrook Winery was part of the Wings Farm, which
Really?
also included Wings Castle. They're one of the earliest settlers in America, actually.
Wow.
They, you've heard of Wingdale? That was actually
Yeah.
part of that family's property, also.
Really?
So, but yeah, if you go to the Wings Castle, it's a funky place, and it's
Yeah.
amazing.
It looks really cool.
Oh, it's amazing, and you look right down on the winery from there. So you'll have to go. I'll go with you.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have 9 rooms, and it's generally always booked.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
all year round? Is it hard to get a room?
Not all year round, but definitely during this season, it's very hard to get a room currently.
Yeah, right up through till New Year's, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So book in advance if you want to come to Millbrook and stay at the Millbrook Inn.
And it's a beautiful place to stay. The
Yeah.
bartender's great.
Well, next time I do go see you, I might have dinner there so I can
You
vouch for
definitely
the food.
should. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The food, I personally, the burger is just the absolute best thing ever. Best
Oh
burger
yeah,
I've ever had.
yeah, yeah. It seemed like a nice place. You have a nice staff there, yourself included, and it's charming. Is a good way to say it. Good way to describe it.
It
Yeah.
is, it's very nice.
All right. So you think you'll be there for a long time?
I believe, yeah, I
Yeah,
believe so.
yeah. You have no plans to move on to something grander.
No, not currently.
Yeah.
I really like it. I love the creativity that I'm able to have. It's just very nice.
They give you a wide berth, so to speak, on what to do there.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So they
Like she'll
basically.
kind of like I can kind of just like she'll like get like a fruit that she wants me to put into a drink, and then I'm able to just like work around it.
She is the owner.
Yes.
What do you want to say her name?
Yeah, Yvette Former is the owner. I
Okay.
think that's yeah, yeah,
All right. She'll
yeah.
sue you. She'll sue you right after this goes public.
No, no, she's very sweet.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful. She did an amazing job. Like she was the one who had the bar built. She built on this extra room that's called the conservatory. And it has like a giant like sky window in it,
hmm
and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Is it just one structure, one building?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did. The Millbrook Inn is, like I said before, a second iteration of the Millbrook
Yes.
Inn. I'm not sure if it's in the same location or not.
It yeah, no, I think it is.
It
Because it used
is.
to be bed and breakfast before as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she did an excellent job
Yeah.
fixing it up because I think it got sort of kind of dilapidated over the
Yeah.
years.
But no, she rebuilt it like all the floors were redone. The
hmm
bathrooms now have heated floors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a beautiful place.
Yeah. And a beautiful bar. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've exhausted everything we were going to talk about. The Millbrook. Oh, I was going to almost said the Militant Inn. Excuse me, the Millbrook Inn. We have
Yes.
um, Four Brothers, the Four Brothers Pizza organization, moving into Millbrook.
Yes. Yeah,
Hopefully,
that's true.
hopefully by spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. I'll have to introduce you to those fellas. They're really nice guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
And
I've met John, I believe.
John, yeah,
Yeah.
John, and they own the Militant Inn. Is why
Really?
I thought of it. Yeah.
Oh, wow, I had no
So
idea.
yeah, they own the Militant Inn, the Four Brothers Drive-In in Amenia. Yeah.
I know that one. Yeah.
So they own a bunch of Four Brothers, but they also own some that aren't under the Four Brothers name. Which the one they're opening here in Millbrook is going to be called the House of Stephus.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
which I
very
think is going to be like a Greek themed thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Well, they are Greek, and their
Yeah.
last name is Stephanopoulos, which is, I guess, the
Oh,
House of Stephus.
yeah.
So, everybody's excited to have them there,
Yeah. And it looks like a beautiful building too. It's right across from Stewart's, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm It used to be called Aurelius, and it
Oh,
has a nice front porch, a second
yeah.
story porch. It's, and these guys know what they're doing, so it's gonna
It's
look
gonna look great. They
spanking
have
with it.
they actually have one in Mayapack that's still called Four Brothers, and it's like right on the water, and it's gorgeous.
hmm Yeah, they own several Four Brothers
Yeah, yeah.
and several things that aren't under that name, which this won't be. But like I said, they know what they're doing, so we're looking forward to that.
Very
And
nice.
they have a suggestion box right now in front of the place
Oh,
um,
really?
that you can write down your suggestion. And being a jerk, I wrote down have Guinness on draft. So we'll
They
see.
just might.
We'll see how that comes out. All right. Well, I do appreciate you coming by tonight, Caitlin.
Yeah, of course.
And again, you do have the coolest name I ever heard, Caitlin Hurricane.
Thank
It's
you.
and it's your real last name.
Yeah,
It's not really spelled like hurricane, but it's
it's not.
pronounced
Well,
hurricane.
yeah, it's Irish. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong being Irish.
No, not at all.
No.
I love it. A fun mix of it.
Yes. Well, you're half Irish, half
Puerto Rican,
Puerto
Dominican.
Rican. That's a good mix. Yeah.
It's a fun mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently a scary mix, but it's fun.
Is it scary? Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently,
Well, I think when I grew up, the Puerto Ricans and the Irish got along pretty good.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. So it was a pleasure having you on the show. I do appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, of
I know
course.
when I mix this thing, I know you promised to send me a couple of videos of you making drinks.
Yes, yes.
which are going to be interposed throughout this
Okay, great.
podcast.
Yes.
So, with your permission, I'll interpose them.
Yeah, of
And
course.
that's why I'm allowing some more time for that. So, I do appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you over at the Millbrook Inn.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Well,
Thanks a
thank you
lot,
for
Caitlin. We appreciate it.